We're here in the matter of the State of Ohio versus Andrea Wasik. This is case 24 CR 1364. Ms. Wasik is present in court. She's accompanied by her attorney, Ms. Tomasik. We are here today with the defendant having previously entered a plea of guilty to assault on a peace officer, a felony of the 4th degree. That was back on the 18th of April. At that time, the court ordered a pre-sentence investigation along with victim impact statement. Those having been accomplished, we are here today for sentencing.
Thank you. Ms. Thomas, is there any reason not to go forward with sentencing?
No, Your Honor, we're prepared to proceed with sentencing.
Anything you'd like to say on behalf of your client?
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. We would like to ask the court today to allow Ms. Wasik a chance to be put on community control sanctions. In speaking with Ms. Wasik and based on her pre-sentence report, it's clear that she has a lot of mental health issues, a lot of trauma in her life. Your Honor, she does go to Signature Health. She goes at least once a month to speak with somebody, and she is on medication. She indicated to me that she wants to pursue grief counseling and trauma counseling. It's something she's never done before. She said her prior trauma hasn't started coming up until later in her life. I know a lot of the trauma was linked to her being a teenager. She had a lot going on at that time, and she indicated to me it hasn't come up until as of late. She also indicated to me her housing situation has been very unstable, but she has been very communicative with me. She shows up to court. She shows up to offers conferences. So even with her housing situation, all the stress she has going on, she has been very responsible when it comes to this case. She knows she messed up and she wants to take care of it. She did indicate to me that she is on the path to getting housing, but she said will help with her mental health and help get that anger under control. She's looking to rent a home close to Perry, so she'll still be within the area. She did apply for housing in Lake and Geauga County, but she unfortunately was denied, and that's been her biggest hiccup. Your Honor, based on her mental health and her living situation, she's trying to get her life on track. She's trying to stay out of trouble. Last I spoke with her, she indicated she doesn't have much of an issue with alcohol. I do believe, though, that some of this has played into that, so I do think she would benefit from a dual diagnosis situation.
She said she hasn't been drinking over a year.
I know, Your Honor, and I know there was some concern with the new cases coming up, and I know she has a pretty lengthy criminal history, and I know that criminal history, a lot of it leads to violent tendencies. She's been on probation before. Like I said, speaking with Ms. Wasik, I do believe mental health is her biggest underlying condition. I think if she has the ability to get that under control, she'll be able to get on a path to stay out of trouble. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Wasik, you have the right to address the court before your sentence. You can say anything you want. Is there anything you want to say?
Good morning, Your Honor, and the court. My name is Andrea Wasik. I'm 58 years old. I'm not making any excuses. I feel terrible for my actions. I'd like to apologize to the court system and also to the officer that I victimized. I'm not making any excuses. I've struggled with my mental health. I have gone through some jail time. I've come out. I am on Social Security. That process happened 3 years ago for mental health. I have struggled to get my medication right. I've had Bell's palsy and also Stephen-Barr syndrome from medication, so it's been a long journey. It's been a struggle. When I think sometimes that the medication is working, it will affect me differently maybe later on, and then I'll experience a physical anomaly from it. I was manic at the time of the incident. I do remember prior to the actual officer coming there, I was told by the driver what had happened in between. I do know what I experienced. I had never experienced that physically ever, but I was on a medication called Caplyta at that time, and it was causing me, I had an assessment on October 30th, and I believe that the incident happened on November 11th, and I was having suicidal thoughts, and the medication was not, it was not working well with me, and I'm on a lot of medication, and sometimes I don't know, you know, I get, I was on Ambien, Trazodone, Vistarol for sleeping. I am not on that medication anymore. It had caused me to do some bizarre things that I would wake up and didn't be aware of. I do know at the time I was on Caplyta that I just did an assessment on the 30th of October for approximately 3 hours with my mental health doctor. And I just stopped taking the medication because it was making me suicidal. I had suicidal tendencies, and I tried to set myself on fire, believe it or not. It didn't work out, thank God, but I was experiencing like so much of the medication. It would work for a little bit, and then, you know, I would get, I got Stephen-Barr syndrome. I got, like I said, I'm not trying to make any excuses, but if I'm stable in my housing, my Social Security has been cut off since then. I'm doing odd jobs to try to support myself, and I applied for housing in Lake County, and I was denied in Lake County and Geauga because of this. They sent me the records from Lake County. So I just applied for housing down the street in Perry so I could be close if possible, and to reconnect with other services like trauma services that I've talked to my counselor prior to this incident happening. And I was going to go to grief counseling at St. Anthony of Padua's, but I've never had that before. I've never had that, and I know I need it because these things are coming up from my past when I was younger, and it's affecting my life horribly now. And when I was a teenager, I had my parents and my family, and you know, I had more of a solid support group. You know, everybody is gone, and it's just me. And I've tried to work out things with my counselor, and you know, try to go do the best that I can. Go to IOP. I was going to IOP.
Your parents
course.
passed away. One was 27 years ago. Your mother passed away
Yes.
14 years ago.
Yes, yes. And I just had a sister, my best friend, my closest person 2 years ago, and that trauma of that, I've never, you know.
I'm trying to figure out how that has to do with this when it's done so long.
Well, the medication, like I said, I'm experiencing things that I've never experienced in my prior life. I have been going to.
Prior life, you had prior life?
I mean, I'm sorry, my prior younger, when I was younger. My sister passed away 2 years ago, and I've struggled with that immensely. You know, she had a severe mental illness also, and
Ms. Wasik, you've been committing crimes for 30 years.
pardon me,
You've been committing crimes for 30 years.
30.
Yeah, 1995 it started. 30 years.
I was like 36 years old when I started developing. Things that I wasn't sure what was going on
You were
in my
28
head.
years old when you started committing crimes.
28,
30 years ago. How old are you now?
58.
All right.
I don't remember them, but
You don't remember a lot.
I don't. I'm severely. I apologize to the courts and to the officer. Please present.
Anything else you'd like to say?
Please have mercy on me, please, and give me a chance. I could do probation. I know I can.
You've never done it. You're on it. You violate every single time. You're on probation when you did this.
Yes, I was on probation for a DUI 3 years prior to that. Yes, I was. Your
Right, I
Honor.
mean, so you say you can do it. You've never done it successfully.
Can you give me a chance to, please? I successfully completed a couple programs, CATS, Neo Cap, Orca House. I successfully completed those. Neo Cap twice. I know I can do this.
I don't know how you
have
know
to
you
get
can do it.
Stable on my medication and my housing, and I know I can do it. I'm even willing to do, you know, restitution to the police department if that's needed. I will do whatever I can. You know, whatever. I think I've never been given a chance, and I don't know much about it. I
You've
know
never been
people-
given a chance?
No, I'm saying I've never been given a chance to be on the mental health docket. I need help to help myself. I can't do it all by myself because sometimes things get jumbled and I get too overwhelmed. And if I can bounce it off somebody else, like my counselor, you know, at times I bounce it off of her or Eric from IOP or somebody else, then they give me insight on it, and then I can focus and think a better option or way of doing things. I've never been given the chance to be on the mental health docket. I think that would be very helpful to me. That I have to be accountable for certain things that are told that I have to do. I struggle to get to places, but I can do it. I can do it. And when I have more of a structure in my life, I work better. I do better. I want to do better. I want to have a better life. I want to be a part of the productive part of the society, not the destructive part of society. When I moved over here, I was doing wonderful. I felt good. I had people that were suggesting things to me that I looked at a different perspective, and I was doing them. You know, I want to be a productive, positive part of society, not a negative part of society. You know, I want to acculate into a community. I want to be a part of the community. I volunteered at the senior center. I loved it. I volunteered at the senior center. I volunteered at the churches here, St. Mary's and St. James, the Hunger Center. I mean, the more I do things like that, the better I feel and the more structured I feel. I need to get stable on medication. I've taken so much medication that sometimes I don't know if I'm coming or going, to be honest with you. And when things happen to me, like different, like I'm waking up, putting plates in the microwave and, doing stuff like that, the medication is not good for me, but it's hit or miss. I take so much medication sometimes that, sometimes it has an ill effect on me. Sometimes it has a good effect on me. I mean, I would like to be stable in my life and, like I said, be a positive part of society and apologize to the court system and to the officer. I really apologize for my actions. Sincerely. Sincerely.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thomas, anything else?
Nothing further, Your Honor. Thank you.
Mulligan.
Your Honor, at the time of the plea, the state agreed to recommend community control, and at this juncture, I'm obligated to stand by that recommendation. Thank you.
This court reviewed the pre-sentence report investigation, the psychological evaluation. I considered the facts and circumstances of the offense involved, the nature of the offense involved. I have considered what's been said here in court today. All this is considered in light of the purposes and principles of felony sentencing set forth in 29-29-11. For the factors in 29-29-12, nothing stands out factually indicating it's more or less serious. As for the recidivism factors, almost every factor here is present indicating recidivism is more likely. The defendant committed this offense while she was on probation to another court. She has a lengthy history of criminal convictions going back to 1995. And the nature of those convictions are all the same thing we're here for. They're offenses of violence. Second time I've said this today, but I've been doing this for 20 years. I've never seen somebody with as many convictions for assaults and battery and it's not even close. As Ms. What were the numbers that you had, Megan? You had 30 arrests, or no, how many arrests for assaulting a police officer?
The charges total 10, the convictions total 7.
And then total assault charges, 30?
Charges of violence, I totaled at 30 with 15 convictions.
Incredible. 30 arrests. Was that 30 plus the 10 for this, or that includes those?
No, the 30.
30 arrests for assaults and batteries. That doesn't count any of the disorderly conduct charges. 30 arrests for for offenses of violence. Incredible. You've not responded favorably to previously imposed sanctions. You've been given multiple chances. Multiple times you've been on probation, and every time you're on probation, you violate. You don't follow the rules. You don't do what you're supposed to do. You pick up new charges. That's a big one. You were on probation at the time you did this. While you're on bond in this case, you've been arrested on another charge, which is pending right now in Ashtabula County. There's an alcohol problem that relates to the offense, and you deny it. You claim that you've been sober since April of 24. Yet, in this case, there was alcohol smelled on your breath. In the new case pending in Ashtabula, there was alcohol that was smelled about your person. In this case, there's no genuine remorse. You can stand up here and say you apologize, but you don't even admit what you did. You say you don't remember anything. Now, you remember every specific detail, up until the moment that you get into it with the police officer, and all of a sudden your mind goes blank and you don't remember anything after that. But you weren't drunk, you weren't drinking, according to you. That's just not credible. It's not believable. So that's every factor in the recidivism more likely, which basically to me it's guaranteed. There's no factors indicating recidivism is less likely. Under 2913B1, the court finds the defendant previously served a prison term. I forgot to mention that earlier. She committed the offense while she was on community control or probation. The offense involved physical harm to another. She has a prior conviction for causing harm. Those are all factors overriding any presumption for community control sanctions. Prison's consistent with the purposes and principles of sentencing. There's just no way this court could ever make a finding that you're amenable to community control sanctions. You're not. You've demonstrated that. I don't know. You stand here and say, I know I could do it. I don't know how you could say, I know I can do it, because you've never done it. And you're just going to continue engaging in this behavior because that's what you do. It doesn't matter what anyone says or anyone does. You just continue to assault police officers, assault others, drink and get out of control. That's what you've been doing for 30 years, and you haven't done anything to change it. Therefore, it will be the sentence of this court that on count 1, defendant served a term in prison of 10 months. She has credit for 3 days. Counts 2 and 3 will be dismissed. I need to advise you upon your release from prison, you may be placed on post-release control for up to 2 years. If you are and you violate any of those conditions, the parole authority can return you to prison as punishment for violating their rules for another 5 months, the maximum being 50% of what I just imposed. Any additional prison term imposed for violating post-release control is being imposed as part of the sentence at this time. The court disapproves the defendant's placement in a program of shock incarceration, intensive prison program, or transfer to transitional control. And the defendant's ordered to pay all costs incurred in this action. Ms. Mulligan, is there anything else for the record at this time?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Ms. Thomas,
No, Your Honor, thank you.